I know about movies, okay? I've seen the good ones, I've seen the bad ones, I've seen the weird ones, I've seen the regular ones.
But have you seen Amelia Perez?
Yeah.
This is the problem.
The Grinch who stole my Christmas.
Can I say, before we rip into Amelia Perez, I just want to say, the problem is you and I have gotten so accidentally famous that now when we talk about something in the universe, we will run into those people. So if we on anybody in this movie or the plot of it or anything, if we on the wig person will show up next week at a gay bar and be like, you talked about me.
Let me tell you who I'm going to on. I will say this about Amelia Perez, which I have watched twice against my will at this point. I watched it on Christmas. I know we've already talked about this. Watched it on Christmas. I could not believe how spectacularly bad it was. Not bad in a showgirls kind of campy bad way, bad in a boring bad way.
Very boring.
Very, very boring. Zoe Saldana, Carla, I forget her name, the trans actors, they are all talented actors. Yes, they are. Of course they are. This movie is the biggest stinker in recent memory.
Right.
Why is it a musical? We don't know.
Well, didn't she say that it beat
tunes? She has none.
It beat Wicked for a Golden Globe for Best Musical.
Now, I did not see Wicked. I didn't see Wicked. It's not my cup of tea. I would rather watch Wicked every day for the rest of my life than have to talk to Miss Amelia Perez again.
Girl,
it is so bad. I made you watch the Cliff's Notes last night.
What I want is to sit with Cynthia Revo. I want her to sit in a room and watch Amelia Perez for the Golden Globe she didn't get and be like,
oh yeah. Because those claws are going to grow and they're going to scratch.
Well, they're not long enough.
That French, oh God, Jacques Audiard. Here's the really distressing part. This is a project that is loaded with talent. Selena Gomez, Carla Sofia, I forget what her name is. Sorry. Zoe Saldana, the choreographer, Damien
acclaimed,
Gillet,
modern,
incredible.
But what happened?
What happened? Something happened on the way to the laundromat.
We need to talk about Kevin.
And all those
we need to talk about Amelia.
Yeah.
It really, Katya came to my house last night. Well, Andrew texted and said, hey, Katya wants me to watch this movie and I know she wants you to watch it. So should I just come to your house so we can get it over with? I said, sure. So you came with, and she laid on my couch like this and watched the movie.
Yeah. And I sat, me and 3 other people on Christmas Day sat through all 2 hours and change of this movie. We ended up doing dishes by the end because it was just too much. But I gave them the Cliff's Notes last night. The only camp moment was, of course, the Bangkok sex change musical.
The sex change musical.
Vaginoplasty. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait. Very nice to meet you. I wondered about sex change operation. From man to woman, a woman to man, man to woman, from penis to vagina.
Yeah, penis to vagina. Would you like a phalloplasty? Yes. Would you like a mammoplasty? Yes. That was so crazy.
Is so crazy. But in bizarrely, that didn't continue. As soon as you were like on board with that ridiculousness, it was over and back to boring.
I know. I'm trying to find a clip of it on YouTube. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Rita? Huh?
So they're in Bangkok.
Yeah. That I want to see Cynthia Erivo watch that clip as it wins best an Oscar for best whatever. I want to see her face in those claws.
Now we're not laughing. By the way, we're not laughing at the idea of sexual gender confirmation surgery. Of course not.
No. Culturally and my gripes with this movie have nothing to do with Mexico, with trans identities.
No.
None of that. I'm interested in this movie as a flop, as a complete and utter fucking flop.
And listen, I come from the drag queen school of singing, right? It's negotiable.
Ain't nobody
I wouldn't
sing
say
that
these
movie.
are quite singers.
No, they have.
I may not be a singer.
Yeah. I may not be an actor. Or I may not be a director.
Not be a choreographer, but I'm still Amelia Perez.
They said, you're going to whisper off key. That was the direction. Y'all gonna whisper off key.
All the songs are like, usually when you leave a musical, you go like you leave Wicked being like
pop, squish,
something, or Good Morning Baltimore.
Yeah.
This all the songs are just like hushed, growly.
I want to go to the, you got to tell me that we could go to Switzerland and fake my death and can send up you can't That's the music.
No. That was a word for word recreation of the film. I couldn't believe it. And I thought you were kind of being funny because sometimes you get really anti and I think you get
overboard,
whipped up.
Yeah, totally. But this is justified in my opinion.
Have you Googled the reviews? There's a lot of positive reviews.
Sweetie, I was online trolling. I was trolling today because
me trying to hack into the letterbox account, me trying to hack into Rotten Tomatoes to make some changes.
I think it was Variety or something. Some news outlet said Amelia Perez is bad. Why is it winning so many awards? And I was like, that's right, boop, bloop, 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 because everybody in the comments was like, actually, it's amazing. I was like, oh, Macy and Theta they are so funny in their discussion. Of course they.
Oh, they don't like it either. Okay, then I feel good.
Well, I mean, the way that they
they're more reliable narrators on maybe the subject matter than we are. You know what I mean?
I mean, the way that they talk, I mean, they're so funny, their descriptions. I mean, they're like, this is a movie made by a man who discovered trans last week.
Right. And I'm not saying that they're qualified because they're trans. I'm saying because they were in the Mexican cartel,
yes.
Right? Of course.
They're both high-ranking cartel members who faked their own deaths and then became trans.
I want to be in the room. I want to watch it with them and Cynthia.
Yes. Well, the thing is, on paper, I was so excited to see this movie. I was so excited to see it. On paper, I was like, what? It sounds outrageous, ridiculous, too wild to be true. And then you realize that the most outrageous, the most insane plot turned out boring.
Very boring.
Very boring. Like a rat search around for some entertainment.
Yeah. And then to me, the ending where they, spoiler, most of the main characters all die. Yeah. And so that's good. And it had a French novel vibe.
It was, but also like, it was this like overwrought, drawn out shootout scene. And like,
where no one gets shot.
Nobody gets shot. And then they end up in a car with she's in the trunk and then she's misgendered and then they fall off the cliff and then boom. And then that's that horrible parade that was filmed by like a BBC intern at the end. It was like, what there was no artistry to this movie. It was rotten.
It's tough.
And on David Lynch's death day.
I know. Well, he saw the movie and was like, it's over.
He's like, it's a wrap.
Right.
No, it's truly breathtakingly horrible. And I'm not a huge fan of musicals, but I would rather see Wicked. I'd rather play Wicked every minute of the rest of my life.
Okay, your favorite film of all time, and the film that you would have to watch over and over again. I listed too many. I skirted the question, and those answers will probably change next month.
Okay. Yeah, Witches of Eastwick is probably my favorite.
Never seen it.
Favorite.
Wow, we're so different.
You got to see it.
Okay.
Cher, Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jack Nicholson. Incredible.
Okay.
Incredible. And it's just so good. It's so good.
Is it like Hocus Pocus?
Yeah, kind of. They're like three female friends who find out that they're witches, basically.
God, they couldn't get one diverse person in there. Jesus Christ.
No, it's a very white cast.
Yeah.
Very white cast. But you know, there's like, I love like, I was heartbroken when I realized that like, they didn't get along.
I hear that.
Isn't that
almost
fucking crazy?
Every show or movie that's a all-female cast, that's the story.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess it's a testament to how great of actors they are because they just seem like the best of friends on camera. Yeah. But I guess like apparently they cast Michelle Pfeiffer because at the time she was the toppity top of Hollywood. It's like 1987.
She was doing that thing where she was like Dangerous Minds. So she's like sitting on a chair being like, fucking straighten out, and everybody's like, I love her. I love that. She fixed those dangerous minds, made them pretty safe. She turned
those dangerous minds into safe minds. Family-friendly minds.
Yeah. I'm back on the streets with a safer mind.
Shit. Oh, but I guess Cher showed up to the one of them wanted the other's part. So I think Susan Sarandon showed up thinking she was Cher.
Oh.
And then had to like, and Cher's like, yeah, I'll do it only if I'm that character. But they had already given it to Susan Sarandon. So it was like a big, horrible thing, which is so heartbreaking. Because I was like, in my mind, they're like the best of friends.
And Cher's like, Sue, like, can we switch parts? And she's like, no, I'm still connected to this witch.
Yeah, can't do it.
I mean, were all the witches so different?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, one of them, you got a sculptor, you got a writer, and you got
a weaver? A baker? Oh, a marionette, puppeteer.
No, not a violin. Cellist. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, you got a cellist,
Yeah.
a writer, and a sculptor. And and who was Sue that she couldn't give it to Cher?
Well, if you watch the movie, because she's an uptight.
They're more than that.
Well, Susan Sarandon's character.
Sculptor?
No, uptight cellist.
Of course.
Super, but literally
got to hit
buttoned
those
up.
notes. Math is in music.
Yeah, no, well, she has she's like famously like high strung, and then
Like a cello.
through the hands of the devil, Jack Nicholson, she like opens up and becomes this like braless
so she kind of has a nice arc.
Yeah, she's
like, oh, I've already mapped it out. I'm gonna be like this, and I'm gonna be like that. Don't take it away from me, Cher.
But see, I don't understand. Like Cher could not have done that part.
What part did Cher have?
I think she was cast as the musician, I think.
No,
yes.
Susan Sarandon was a musician.
Susan Sarandon ended up playing the musician, but I think it was written that Cher was going to be the musician, which if you see the movie, you're like, no way.
So what is Cher? Is she's
the sculptor.
The sculptor.
But she doesn't have a lot of like, Susan Sarandon's character has the most, she literally goes from like Goody Proctor to like the town slut.
Right.
It's great.
So fun.
She lets her hair down literally. She's this wild, like braless in the supermarket eating pickles out of the jar. It's great.
I mean, and Cher was just like making a pot.
Yeah, she's just making little booby dolls.
And she's just like, why am I was in Moonstruck. I sang. I did a variety show. I didn't even want to.
You know,
all I want to do is have a f***ing arc, and I'm just making pottery in this movie?
Yeah, crazy.
Why didn't they give her an arc?
I don't know. I mean, she really is the star, though. She is. I know it's so gay.
No, she kind of takes the screen away. Like,
yeah,
it's like watching a dog on stage where you don't know what they're going to do, so you're just looking at them. Like, that's Cher.
Yeah. I can't believe I was like recently kind of going back and like just, on YouTube, like going into the back catalog of all the stuff that Cher and Liza, just to get really gay, like Cher and Liza Minnelli have done.
Wait, you're gay? I didn't know that.
They did so much.
Wait, they did stuff together?
No.
Oh, just just
in general.
Their body of work.
It's insane.
Yeah, they didn't say no to anything.
Nothing.
No.
I mean, specials, the Sunny Share. I mean, it's like all this all the time. It's outrageous.
Yeah.
So prolific.
Do you think Cher, I mean, they both slowed down now.
Yeah. Well, oh my God.
What?
Oh, Liza's still alive.
Oh God.
And Cher's still alive.
Oh my.
We love Dune. That's our thing. Dune. Dune is
Love Dune.
And how could this be? For he is the quiz that's how to rock.
I was
Be
so
silent.
Yeah. Wait, look. You see this?
Yeah.
The voice.
Oh my God.
Isn't that cunty?
Yes.
They need to do it like
The
a
Bene
version.
Gesserits,
Yeah. They need to do a version of the show The Voice with just Bene Gesserits.
Yes.
Yeah. Silence.
Be silent.
Abomination.
Abomination.
I'm obsessed.
I am.
I saw the Dune Part 2 like 6 times.
Like, listen, we can go back
fierce.
to the room and watch that like it's nothing.
So fierce.
And we went to the movies to see it.
Yeah.
I think the black and white scene was the cinematography
so good.
was crazy. Like we were
So
sitting there
good.
and I was like, this is so demonic.
I know. And they surely did not really kind of tease just how jacked up Austin Butler got for that role.
Yeah.
During the trailers for that movie. And I was like, holy shit. He was so hot in
There
that
was a
role.
lot of hot things.
A lot of hot things going on over there. A lot of hot things
That's
going
why
on.
there was so many worms coming from the sand.
But don't you think me and Trixie our bald asses should have been in the Harkonnen world?
I do, and definitely in the black and white.
Yeah.
when it was that.
Like, what the fuck?
What? Okay,
We could have just been one of the hoes. Like there's they had the little hookers just standing around looking all
I
scared.
would have liked to see
Yeah.
y'all come out as those demon things.
Oh yeah, with the
Yeah.
Cunty.
And it was like we were in the movie theater, and I leaned over to him. I said, "This is very demonic," and I'm wet.
I am so wet for Austin Butler in that movie.
Listen,
So sexy. So sexy.
I think that I'm now they better not take too long with 3.
They are going to. They're going to.
What is the reason?
Well,
They've already shot it.
No.
You know they.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. Well, I read the book, and the book sucks.
It
like,
does?
Yeah, like I read all the books, and the books are kind of like, they go all over the place. It's really interesting. I mean, the second one gets into how much of it's like, it completely tears apart the whole Messiah thing. It's like,
well, because he's really dark later
yeah,
on,
he like
right?
caused like billions of people to die.
Yeah. So
But we'll see.
I do like the 80 one, the original.
When Aaliyah comes in and she goes boop, and she what are you talking about? Remember at the end, for it is he.
Yeah. And how could this be? For he is the Kwisatz Haderach. And it says boom.
She goes, boop. Yeah, she has the little Gom Jabbar in her finger, and she goes boop.
And then she killed the bear.
Yeah.
And then it opened it.
And she slides out of frame like the electric slide. It's really cunty. She goes whoop.
And their eyes are blue and they're all looking.
Yeah. I loved it too. It's a great version. If you watch it without the sound, it's great because the acting is a little.
Well, it was the 8. Now see, listen. I also like Flash Gordon.
That's what I heard is great. I started.
You haven't watched it?
I haven't watched it. The costumes are incredible, right?
Girl, you haven't watched Flash?
No.
You are a drag queen.
I know.
You must watch Flash.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Not the boar worms. Not the boar worms. Girl,
What are the boar worms?
The boar worms are the worms and stuff. You know, not the boar worms. It's just everything is so sexual and so Flash. So
what's the premise of Flash Gordon? He's fast?
He was a football player that got teleported to some outside world, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah, and then like it was Ming the Merciless Ming, and then
Okay.
you know it's you gotta watch it.
I'm gonna watch it.
You know, and you can see the really low budget, so
Okay.
you could like really see the machines moving, and they're like Flash, Gordon, Defender of the Universe. I like like that.
That's
like
amazing.
Like I was born during that time, so me watching it looked real to me at that time.
Okay.
Now it's like, girl, they really had like a smoke machine going over here, girl, and like they're moving in these emotions, like this is really cheap.
Oh wow.
But it's a cult classic, you know.
I gotta watch it.
Not the boring. Not the boring.
Did they say it all sensual like that?
See, look at it. It's not the boar worms. Not the boar worms.
You're giving Harkonnen.
What does that mean?
It means the baldies from Dune.
Is it hot?
I think so.
Okay.
The fact that we were not scouted and then headhunted and then cast as extras in Dune 2 as a member of the Harkonnen planet on Giedi Prime is so flagrant, so hateful, so rotten, and unforgivable. I'm only hoping that Denis Villeneuve, if he gets his shit together, will realize the error of his ways and right that wrong by casting us as extras. I don't want a line. I can't act well. I know that. But I won't mess up the movie with dialogue, but I will stink up that set as an extra in the background. And he better come
knocking
correct.
on doors, opening, checking out. Yeah.
Mama, both of us.
And no lines.
Famous, bald, not great actors. But I will love to be in the background of that, on that set with Zendaya and Timothée Chalamet and, all those people.
I think you're a good actor.
I'm not, but it's okay. I appreciate the comment.
And when I say I'm not, sometimes people are like, no, you're an actor. I say, it's okay if we're not good at everything.
Yes. I know. I don't like patronizing
I'm not
lies.
good at it. And I don't aspire to be good at it. So it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But I tell you what I am good at. Singing.
Right.
Here we go.
From the orifice.
Oh, I miss rehab.
Dune, the costume designery on that fucking film.
Did you like it as much as Doom 1?
I in the mother toilet. I ate and in I loved it just as much. I actually loved it more because there was more action and a lot more range of characters. It was so visually like I was chomping. The Harkonnens, the bald people that both you and I look
people
like.
People keep tagging us as Austin Butler, which thank you. But even Austin Butler with no eyebrows, we're not exactly on that level.
Honey, there is a scene, his first scene, he plays a psychopath from this evil world where everybody's black and white. It's like a UV sun, it's so fierce. It's a shot of him shirtless and jacked and it is, I was like, I will be jerking it to that later on. Jerking it.
Yeah.
And it was like a goth person's for the costumes and the vibe. It was like H.R. Geiger, like all inspired design. It was a feast for the eyeballs, and I can't get enough of it.
How long is it?
It's 3 fucking hours long.
Is that
It's
okay?
a little too long for me in the theater, let me tell you that, honey.
Austin Butler.
Yeah. Do you want once the I could tell when the movie was ending, I was like this. I mean, I loved every moment of it, but I was like this, and I went to that bathroom. So I was like a Wile E. Coyote with a dust cloud going in the bathroom
To pee.
because I'm not going to leave.
Yeah.
Do you leave the theater
Never.
to go? Never. What's
Never.
the point?
I've never walked out of a movie and I've never left to pee.
I've only walked out of one movie in my 2 movies. I've watched out a bunch of movies.
Because what if I miss the thing, the moment?
Oh, 100%.
What are you supposed to do? Come back and turn to the person next to you and go, what did I miss?
Yeah, loudly. Or ask the person behind you, hey, I was in the bathroom. What, you know, it was, I walked out of Hanging Up with Diane Keaton, Meg Ryan, and Annette Bening. Hanging Up. Horrible film.
Not on Dune level.
No. That film is what I think turned me into a drug addict. Just kidding. I need you to know about Dune again.
Tell me about it.
I need you to know how.
Did you get to see Rebecca Ferguson?
I sure did. And
She's in it again.
Ate and all over them.
Mr. Timothée?
Timothée Chalamet
Timothée.
took a in the mother toilet.
Got it.
He was giving full. It was full on Nell. It was good. He was great. He's the least he's a lovely guy, little bird boy. Apparently, he's got a big swinging dong that he gave syphilis to a whole bunch of people at NYU. It's just hearsay. And but he's like he is very serviceable as the lead role. Wonderful actor. It's all the other characters though that really get my juices flowing. Rebecca Ferguson eating, shitting in the mother toilet. Literally, she's mother, Reverend Mother.
Did you see the guy at the theater on a hoverboard in that Dune thing?
Riding the sandworm?
Live.
Yeah, I loved that it was like people would clap at the end of the movie. I'm like, they're not here, you know.
Right.
Have you ever experienced that? That's a new thing for me. People clapping at the end of a film in a cinema where the director
They
or
do
the
it in
cast,
LA. Like, have you ever been to a premiere?
Well, the premiere is different.
In premieres, they clap
for.
No, in
But they're
premieres,
there, though.
as every credit rolls, filmed by, in the beginning, when it's like filmed by, they clap for everything.
Okay, that's cool though, because they're there though.
Yeah.
But clapping at the end, I think is funny. It's like, I know we all got to go to the bathroom. What are y'all playing at?
Oh, in LA, they sit and watch the whole credits.
Well,
They watch the whole credits.
That's crazy. The only thing that was
Do you
not
also
crazy.
like open a candy bar and eat the wrapper? Like, what are you talking about?
I have my cereal box. I just put my whole thing in my mouth.
Yeah. Even if your husband is like stunt woman 1, well, wife, I don't know. Even they're going to turn and be like, we don't have to wait for my name.
No.
I promise I'm in it.
No, my God. That is so insufferable. Although the only thing is that sometimes, you know, in those Marvel movies, there's always like an Easter egg at the end of the credits. But in the Terrifier Part 2,
yeah,
if you happen to, after 2.5 hours of brutality, if you happen to just find yourself planted in that theater seat, you were treated to the most wonderful little post-credit epilogue, where a woman was scrawling in vagina blood on an asylum wall and then gave birth to a severed head. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Beat it up.
What besides Dune? What else have you read?
Well, okay, so Dune.
Yeah.
Dune 2.
Yes.
Or Dune Messiah.
Yes.
Then Children of Dune, of course.
Children of Dune.
And then God Emperor of Dune, which is where I currently am.
Okay.
Which is a 3,500 year jump in the Dunosphere.
Yeah.
Where so this guy decides to get covered in what's called sand trout.
Okay.
And then he turns into a large worm. And then he's a large worm dictator on the planet that Dune takes place on. And it's so weird.
Yeah.
I got to admit, it's not exactly, it's a little bit of a slog getting through this part. But spoiler alert, he's fallen in love.
With the worm?
Yeah, no, he's the worm.
Oh.
He's fallen in love with a lovely little woman who was sent to his planet to woo him. And so the God Emperor Worm is he's like catching feelings for this lovely lady, but he has no more genitals.
I was going to say, is this like a Little Mermaid situation where he goes to a witch and gets a penis?
It's very that, but it's it's Big Mermaid in the sand.
Yes.
It's like enormous mermaid in the sand.
Yeah.
So like imagine Ariel, but dry and like 6,000 times the size.
Oh,
but
God.
he's got a little face.
Yes.
His face is cute and he's got like a little cowl neck thing going on.
Yeah.
And I guess his legs have kind of like wasted away into little nubs. Okay. But he has a giant cart that he can do wheels or suspensors.
Does she find him attractive?
I think that she loves him.
Oh.
I don't think that she finds him attractive. It's because
Is this like a Shape of Water situation?
Except dry.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the Shape of Water with no water. It's actually it kind of is. It's very crazy. It's but I'm trying to get through this part because I think in the next book there is a society or like a sect of women who are like how to describe it? They're kind of like space sex nuns.
Oh.
Who are like they use their sexuality to like destroy and enslave people. And I can't wait to get to those ladies.
Where does the nunnery come in?
Well, so there's in the previous books is called the Bene Gesserit, which are like the sisterhood of like space witches. And they can like, I'd be like, drink the Red Bull. And then it would like force you to drink it. So they can use like all these exactly. See, it worked. Fall in love with the worm. And then there's another one. There's like an even evil version of there's another sisterhood of like evil women who I think that they try to kill all the. I don't know. It's just awesome. I'm so horny for it.
Okay.
I'm horny for evil women using sex as a weapon.
Oh yeah, I love that.
You know?
Yes, I'm trying to think of. It is. I'm trying to think of a movie of horny women who use it for evil.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Yes.
Dave and I during the monsoon, it's been raining here. We watched both Kill Bills. Just to check in on that.
Back to back?
Yes, just to check in.
Yeah. Still, what? Love.
She not only has no notes, she has notes for everyone. That movie killed every movie. It is every shot, every musical sting, every outfit, every line, the dialogue, the kung fu.
Yeah, the Japanese.
Acting.
Yeah.
Uma anchors that ride. So even though it is a roller coaster, it has the heart right here the whole time.
I think my favorite part is when she comes out and she sits down at the
cafe.
Can I have a glass of water,
please?
It's like
so amazing.
The fact that she obviously works so hard. She and Zoe Bell work so hard, and it's so clear. Like also she got like the thing about the car and everything getting injured. She
did get injured.
Yeah, and it was a big kind of thing. It was a big like thing, and it was terrible. But but she worked so hard in that movie. Those movies, so hard. And she should have gotten an Oscar nomination. I'm sorry. She should have gotten an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
Because it's an action movie.
David was like, I wonder if they got any Oscars for this.
No,
and he was like,
maybe sound design or stunts or whatever.
How did she not get an Oscar for that?
Because
they
the
hate
Academy,
comedy.
because she's not in a British accent wearing a corset, talking to Hugh Dancy.
Yeah.
And Colin Firth, like, or she's not getting like gangbanged by a bunch of like Nazi bikers.
She's not playing a bedside nurse to Victorian children.
She doesn't have brown teeth, and she didn't like just
Yeah, it's not a But then I watched some other Tarantino movies I'd never seen.
Which ones?
I'd never seen Inglourious Bastards. It was so good, but so much reading, many languages, but really good.
I need to talk to you about Diane Kruger. Diane Kruger.
Who's that?
The blonde actress in the film.
Who plays the actress?
Yes.
Amazing. When she died, I was
French,
devastated.
English, and German.
And she eats.
She eats. She is so good in that movie.
I couldn't believe she died.
Strangled to death.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. The gentleman who plays the Nazi the Jew hunter.
It's a
so scary to watch.
Is
so chilling.
Incredible.
So evil.
What did you think about Brad Pitt though? Because it took me a while to get along.
We're hanging, we're killing Nazis.
I love when he's playing in Italian. He's like,
that was funny.
Buongiorno. Yeah, buongiorno.
Yeah.
Grazie.
That I thought was funny. When I saw it in the theater, it took me a little while. I don't even think I fully latched on to his character because I thought it was too cartoonish. Because everybody else is just sweeping the rug.
All of it.
With their acting.
I loved it so much. I mean, a fairy tale that is very anti-Nazi. Like, love it.
A revisionist revenge tale is so satisfying. When Hitler is getting like pulverized by machine gun fire in a theater that's burning down filled with Nazis, you literally almost get hard.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh my God. Like it's like that revenge juice is like so powerful.
It's so potent.
So potent.
And if you don't know about those events, they paint it so well that you just you are ready for that. You are ready for that Jew hunter to get it the whole movie.
Didn't like about his other revenge movie Django Unchained is
I watched that after that.
Oh, so that left me wanting more.
Okay.
I wasn't satisfied by the end of it. I could watch
Jamie Foxx do just about anything. My God, he is gorgeous. My God. My God.
Wait. Let's go back to the Inglourious though. The scene where the opening scene where they're
so scary.
It is so scary. So f***ing scary.
And it unfolds so slowly and it's so scary.
It's so f***ing crazy. It's like, oof, that's one of my, I loved that movie so much.
The woman who owns, and then, the woman, she ultimately owns the theater.
Cinema,
and when she kisses her boyfriend because they're going to.
It was so good. I was so it was crazy.
Anyway, good. But really, Kill Bill is, my God, she eats. She gobbles. The opening scene being killing Vernita Green, the opening. Before you even know what's going on, you're like.
Yeah. I have a gripe though. 2 gripes. Why did they show Sophie Fatale, Oren Ishii's assistant at the church in the flashback on a cell phone?
They do?
Yeah, they do for some reason. Right before she chops off her arm, you know how
they do?
They do. And I'm like, why was she there? Her assistant? She wasn't even working for the Yakuza then, or she was, I don't know.
Maybe she worked for Bill at the time. Who knows?
Maybe. It's just a strange thing. It was a strange thing.
She's so beautiful too, and she was great in Inglourious Basterds.
Yes, she was
the French, and the translating, all of it. She was so beautiful. Walking with the dog, the whole movie.
Again,
I just a little long. It was hard for me to it's hard for me to sit through those long movies. And
The Hateful Eight was way too long.
You have to be ready to glue yourself in. If you step away to go to the fridge once, you miss something.
That's the types of movies that I want to watch when I have claw clamps on my eyeballs from start to finish.
And just like the fantasy of like white supremacists being the enemy, it also of course brought me back to HBO Watchmen.
Yeah.
It's like, but I loved it. And just watching Kill Bill again, I've seen that movie no less than 20 times in my life. And every time I'm like, it takes me back to, I was like 13 years old when that came out. No, 14, 15.
Yeah, because I was like 19.
Okay, so I must have been.
The second one came out. Or 20.
I must have been actually 13 or 14.
Yeah, you probably were.
And I remember I was up late watching it, never seen it before, rented the DVD, and I'm watching it, and it finished. And the ending is like, does she know her daughter's still alive?
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh.
I've told you what I went and did. I saw it, and then I went to the theater that night and watched the second one, because that's the timing. It was out on DVD when the second one was in the theater.
Lucky you.
I was like, oh, I'm going right to that motherfucking theater. And I was like, that's never happened. That's so cool.
You came to that place for magic.
I sure did.
That's
I was like,
the definition of
I will not be left on this cliffhanger.
Yes.
I would have probably killed myself.
Every character in Kill Bill. Every Hattori Hanzo, Pai Mei, Gogo Yubari, all of it, girl. All of it.
Michael Park, he's also the sheriff.
He
is. Yes.
Are you sure?
Just cut your face. Yes. He plays both characters.
People are good actors.
He is incredible.
Speaking of the gentleman who plays the Nazi general in Inglourious Basterds, who's also in Django Unchained.
Yes.
He was also in Downsizing, that movie I told you to watch with Hong Chow.
Yeah, he's been in a lot.
Mary, you gotta watch. If you don't watch Downsizing, I'm taking you out at the legs.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for Hong.
She'll eat you up.
Yeah. And that faggot Matt Damon.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kill scene in Kill Bill? What's your favorite set piece?
It is.
It's the trailer.
It's the trailer. I told David I would watch a longer version of this. I want to know more about
Elle
Beatrix and
Driver,
Elle's relationship because they hate each other. And you kind of accept that. I mean, you get that Elle's probably jealous because that's Bill's favorite.
Yeah.
And she's blonde and
she's younger. She's a little bit prettier. She's,
And once she gets out of the picture, she's romantic with him.
Right.
Elle, the scene where Bud is dying from the bite and she's just reading from those pages.
And she says her biggest regret is that the best warrior in the world had to die from your scumbag ass. Like that moment where she like gives her respect, gives her props. I like thought that was so like women supporting women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like she hated her so much, but because she was the best.
Yeah. And then remember in the beginning, she tries to euthanize her while she's sleeping as like a compliment to her being a great warrior.
This is a luxury that people of our kind are rarely afforded.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I like the honor of that. Even though these are murderers and crime doers, there's an honor.
Code.
There's a code. And that's interesting to play with on screen.
Totally. I love the moment where I love Lucy Liu's big moment because it also like actually correct kind of she's not Chinese. You know what I mean? Like her heritage is like, she doesn't speak Mandarin, I don't think. She doesn't speak Japanese, certainly. So like her character had to be, to make sense, has to be like mixed race.
Yeah.
And so like they kind of deal with that. Well, a half white woman would never be head of the Yakuza. And so they, she's like, that with that monologue where she says, if anybody else, if the subject of my Chinese, Japanese, or American heritage comes up, if any,
she goes in.
I
it's
love
amazing.
that line so much. I collect your head.
It's amazing. If
People
anybody
should do that in a mix.
Yeah, more. Different times.
There was a lot of Kill Bills back in the day. Who's your favorite character in Inglourious Bastards? Who would you out of the
Girl, Brad Pitt.
No, but besides him.
Oh, the bear.
The bear.
The Jewish bear.
That's Eli Roth, I think.
Yeah. He came on screen and David goes, "I bet you like him," and I went, "Yeah, I do."
You see this boner?
He's gorgeous. When he comes out with that bat.
Oh yeah, it's hammer time.
And they have him.
I know it's hammer time.
Gunned out,
juiced up. They put the trend in that.
He's so hot.
Yeah, totally.
He's so hot. Big eyebrows. I love men with big eyebrows like that.
You couldn't even see his asshole, so hairy.
Yeah, I believe he was in. He was in Death Proof.
He directed that.
He did?
Yeah.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. He directed that. And he directed Planet Terror. No, sorry. Tarantino directed Death Proof. Eli Roth directed Planet Terror.
Eli Roth, that gentleman.
Yes.
He is at the bar in Death Proof and he's like, the girls don't want to go home with us, but we give them another drink. They're plotting to
He plays always a scumbag. He's in the fucking, he plays a sleazy agent in the Idol.
Yeah.
The Idol. He looks like a sleaze bag.
I think
for Live Nation.
Have you ever seen the film Bruno?
Oh yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen.
She eats too. We don't have to. This is a movie podcast.
It's okay. Stop apologizing. Sorry. Stop apologizing. I'm vibing.
I can't tell if people like when we talk about movies or if they're like, "Girl, who cares?" This isn't Movie Phone. This isn't Blockbuster. This isn't Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know what I mean? Like this isn't
School and Shebert.
This isn't the AMC. Like, do people ever go? I wonder if people work at movie theaters. Do people ever go in not knowing what to see and then ask for a recommendation? I wonder.
I'll tell you this. I did once. I went into the movie theater blind with a girlfriend, and it was between Broken Hearts Club, which is a lighthearted gay rom-com, or Requiem for a Dream. We chose the door number of that one and walked blindly into Requiem for a Dream.
That's heavy, right? I've never seen that.
She sobbed uncontrollably. Oh, she was, as the credits were rolling and the lights came up, she was sobbing so uncontrollably, I started to get worried because the movie was so intense. It was so intense. And it's not a feel-good film. We later watched Broken Hearts Club. It's stupid as hell, like the stupid light gay rom-com.
I've not seen that.
Oh, it's not worth watching.
Either of those.
Dean Cain now he's like a thumper.
Dean Koontz.
Is that
remember when we wrote books? We don't have to do that ever again. I saw When Harry Met Sally for the first time.
Did you like it?
Not really. Not really.
Carrie Fisher though.
I kept being like, yeah, I'm made to believe that these people are soulmates and they meet all these times and they never get together.
Also, listen, it's none of my business, but I am not, I'm going to say this in a way that's diplomatic. I am fascinated by the fact that there was a time in which that leading man was the desirable one. He
is hot younger. I'm not going to be dishonest here. He is beautiful younger.
Him. Okay, it's interesting.
I just like,
no, it doesn't do it for me.
They meet all these times and they never fall in love. I mean, I guess that's supposed to inspire people, right? It's supposed to be like, well, maybe I have met the right one. They just haven't realized it yet. I don't know.
I just haven't spilled enough hot coffee on him in a bookstore And my witty like spinster friend hasn't thrown enough quips at me to like make me realize the truth. Yeah. Like what the bookstore that I own hasn't been taken over by a conglomerate yet. Tom Hanks and You've Got Mail.
It's rarely like that. You know, in real life, when you fall in love with someone, it's immediate and it's sort of...
And it's forever.
It's non-negotiable. You know it right away. You don't like, I love Josh. That never happens.
It never happens. You're like, I'm covered in shit. I just haven't smelled it
right.
yet.
It's
like what? You didn't
and the
smell
way
that?
sex works in the brain, if you really are that attracted to them, it's all you can think about when you're around them. And it doesn't creep up. It's in the front.
Not a question. But all things being equal, unless you have some very significant kind of psychological, emotional, traumatic, whatever, it's one of the easier things to know about. Like you don't need a spidey sense for it or a college education.
You don't.
You know.
No, like you remember the stories like in Back to the Future, how there was one Marty McFly and then they swapped it out?
Oh, I never saw Back to the Future.
Okay, in Back to the Future, before it was Michael J. Fox, it was another gentleman. And sometimes in life, I'm like,
is there a person named
when
Biff?
Is somebody going to come tap me and be like, it's not working?
Oh, no.
Somebody's going to come live in your house and take your job because you're not working out. You know what I mean? I watched this film, I believe, called like Would You Rather or something. It was like a Saw spinoff, but it wasn't Saw related. It was a Saw copy. And there was
Was Andy McDowell in it?
I don't know.
No, that's Ready or Not. No, what? Have you seen that? You
yes, love
Samara Weaving.
Yeah, of course, Samara Weaving. Yeah,
Andy McDowell.
That movie is amazing.
Bashes Andy McDowell's face, or head into the floor. It's fabulous.
Were you gagged at the end when they all started exploding?
Absolutely, I loved it.
When you think it's superstition the whole time, and then,
ooh, there ain't no other way.
I love that movie.
I love it too. It's really good.
I relate to her in that movie, like coming into spaces where people are wealthy, but you're not wealthy and you didn't grow up wealthy. Yeah. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
So I think she plays that really well, where she's like just trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And when she draws that card and they realize they have to kill her, I was like, what about the beginning when it starts with when they were kids? And the old grandma. Did you like her with the?
Are you kidding me?
And the eyebrows.
The eyebrows. Miss Evil Auntie.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me. Yeah. Crazy.
That's Pat.
The only thing I don't like it when a main character who's being pursued, they get a major like hand injury. Remember when she like on the nail?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Do you like in movies when they get stabbed through the hand?
No, because it's a rap.
I love that.
It's a rap.
No, I love it.
Well, I mean, it's dramatic.
The beginning of Scream, Jenna Ortega through the hand.
Oh, really? Yes. But then does she go in to survive hours and hours later?
No, she spends the whole movie in the hospital. She's very injured.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's like very injured. She was also stabbed a bunch of other times.
Okay.
Yeah. No, but in the moment, that camera angle of someone with their hand up and a knife through it is always very scary.
Oh, how about this though? So, Mrs. Davis, a show on Peacock. The first, it's Betty Gilpin from Glow Up.
Icon.
I love. So it starts out
not Glow Up. Betty Gilpin competed on the makeup competition show Glow Up, which I'm guest judging on this week. If you want to watch it, anybody?
Ooh, there ain't no other way. It starts off with this scene of like these nuns in like the 15th century, like samurais. They're warriors. And they're like in this. She gets stabbed straight through, and then she leaps across the table to like stab somebody with the sword that she stabbed with. Oh, it's so fierce. She's like, well, here we go. It's so fierce. A lot of good stabbing.
Did you see her in that movie, I believe, called The Hunt?
I sure did.
With
Hilary Swank at
Mary.
That's a huge spoiler at the end.
Huge spoiler. It's a movie where it seems like a bunch of conservatives get rounded up and are hunted by liberals.
By coastal elites.
Coastal liberal rich people with guns. Yeah. I thought it was such a fun flip.
Yeah, it's a little simplistic, but it was fun. I saw it in the theater and I thought I had a blast watching it. The gag at the end of Hilary Swank was very gaggy.
And I like them making like woke white people the devil. I think that's funny.
Yeah, because I mean, all people are trash.
Well, do you remember the scene like with those two people who they're pretending to be convenience store owners, but it's of course all the game?
Yes.
And they're having that whole conversation about like they're called African Americans,
right.
Them being horrible murderers, but correcting, like so funny.
Yeah, it's very funny. She slayed.
Betty Gilpin, Mama.
She slayed.
She takes it. She takes it. She puts it in her mouth. She chews it up and swallows it. Otherwise known as eating. Like she goes so hard in that movie. The scenes towards the end where she's in the death match with Hilary Swank.
It's so fierce.
It was giving me Kill Bill.
Yeah.
When she finally meets Bill.
Yeah, it was fierce. It was really fierce.
I love Kill Bill.
I do I'll never forget the day because I saw the DVD and then I went to the theater the same day to see number 2 because it was in the theater.
I'll never forget.
I'll never forget it.
It was just
electrifying. Electrifying.
It for me was like, whoa, movies can be something else.
Electrifying.
Yeah. And it hits that good too. If you watch it today, it's like a 25-year-old movie now. It's as good.
Electrifying.
Uma, if you're watching this, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, electrifying. Did you see now of his oeuvre, Tarantino? What are you a fan of? Have you seen them all?
Well, yeah, Kill Bill 1 and 2 are, I think, the beyond. It's the apex of greatness. I actually really loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I loved it too. Loved it.
And not to be stupid, I didn't know anything about the movie, so I go in completely blind. Didn't know anything about it.
You didn't know anything about Sharon Tate?
I knew about that.
Oh, okay.
And you spend the whole movie thinking she's gonna die.
Oh, okay.
And then
I
she
see what
doesn't.
So you didn't know it was like kind of revisionist.
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I thought, oh God, we're gonna have to see her die. Oh God, she's gonna die. Margot Robbie. The scene where Margot Robbie goes to see her own movie.
It's
so
cute.
sweet.
And Kate Berlant is in it.
Kate Berlant is in it. So good.
The ticket lady, the ticket girl.
I love the scene where the Manson girls are in the car and Maya Hawke is like having cold feet.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
How about the can of dog food at the face?
Sickening.
That because it's a long movie. It's a long movie. It's a slow burn, and that payoff
is so good.
Is so juicy.
And Brad PG
eats and and he just takes them all out to the dumpster.
The part where he gets in the fight with Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah,
and throws Bruce Lee against that big, sickening. And when he's Brad Pitt plays Leonardo DiCaprio's stuntman. And the part where he's in the same outfit as him in a wig. Sitting backstage.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt is so beautiful, and he's honestly never been hotter than that movie. He's so hot in that movie.
Yeah, because he's in fantastic physical shape. He's also like the best acting he's ever done. And
I say one thing Quentin Tarantino movies do, they give it up to the stunt people.
Oh yeah, Zoe, what's her face?
Mary, nothing beats Death Proof. I'm sorry. I take it all back. I think I like it even more than Kill Bill.
Really?
I love Death Proof. I laughed. I remember seeing that in the movie theater and being seized with terror. Yeah. When she's on the front of that car. Watching a main actress climb out of a car on camera.
Yeah.
When she turns to the camera, or she turns over and goes, watch this, and climbs out onto the hood.
Yeah.
And it's not a stunt double. And it's one shot, and it's the real actress.
You're
like,
well, that's Uma's stunt woman.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
She's Zoe Bell.
Zoe Bell, yeah.
Is that right?
Zoe Bell, yeah. She's incredible. But I've watched the leg from the first half of the movie. I've watched the leg scene too many times.
It's amazing.
Too many times. And I can't think about putting my foot out the window without stuntman Mike coming.
Girl.
And just the leg goes flying.
Yeah.
The leg.
And if it's going to happen, let it be the other one, not the new one.
Thank you.
So good. And Kurt Russell is so funny in that movie.
Yeah.
And there's moments where he's pitiful, moments where you're like, he's kind of sexy.
And moments when he's actually terrifying, like with Rose McGowan.
Girl, terrifying. I love that movie.
How about with what's her face in the whoosh, boom?
Oh yeah.
Love that.
Marijuana killed my brain.
No, it's
Rosario Dawson is so good in that movie.
The leg, and then smash into the face.
Also, the world building, the scene where they stop at the convenience store and they pick up a magazine that girl's in, and like the fact that they're working on a movie and they're off duty.
Yeah,
such a good.
It's crazy because the first group of girls they're not very likable, and the tone is dark and it's uncomfortable. Yeah, and then you have the sunny.
However, that sex dance in the bar, she wears a red bandana.
Yeah.
That butterfly who plays Butterfly, so beautiful, weird looking, but in such a beautiful way with her big eyes and big lips and tiny little nose.
Is she the one that gets the tire of our face?
That Jungle Julie with the long hair is so good. That movie is so good. This isn't a movie podcast. I'm sorry.
No. No, yes, it is.
Okay.
Welcome to Movie Phone. How about Planet Terror? Because I saw the double feature in the theater. Which
Me too.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't believe I don't even think I went to the bathroom.
Did you pee yourself? I didn't know it was a double feature. I didn't know what I was going to do. It was my freshman year of college, and my roommate Mike. I moved into the dorm. I met my first friend Mike.
The first friend ever in college.
My first friend at college was my heterosexual roommate, Mike. We met and he barely knew me and he was like, hey, do you want to go to a concert with me Friday and then go see this movie with me Saturday? And I was like, sure, only friend. So we went to Joanna Newsom together and it was amazing.
Okay.
I'd never seen Joanna Newsom. It was unreal. It was her in a 23-piece orchestra.
23 pieces?
And it was amazing.
Jesus Christ.
And then the next night, I think we went to see Death Proof and the
Planet Terror.
Both of those experiences blew my mind.
Yeah. Planet Terror, is that Planet? Not my favorite. Although you love the machine gun leg.
Yeah.
With Rose McGowan. But when Quentin Tarantino's in the movie, he's always so gross. He's so gross. He says, like, he mentions getting his wet, and that's when I almost hurled. He plays
a creep very well.
Yeah.
He plays a creep
and he's not
well.
a trained actor. I wonder if he's a creep. No.
Well, we're going to work with Selma soon. We should ask her about
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Because From Dusk Till Dawn also is so good.
Is that Robert Rodriguez? That's the same guy, Planet Terror, I believe. Yeah.
Quentin, he's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
George Clooney's so good in that movie. Juliette Lewis in that movie.
George Clooney, Lake Como.
I was probably too young to see that movie. I didn't know vampires happened. So when the vampires happened.
Oh, you didn't know.
In the movie.
You mean
There's no clue that there's going to be vampires until it kicks off. And suddenly you're like, what movie are we watching?
Yeah. I thought I was watching just as like a sexy Mexican bar movie.
No, it starts out like these two con brothers who are like on the run from the law and they hijack this family's RV. You're like, okay, it's kind of like a thriller, whatever. Seems very straight, whatever. Can we talk about Eileen?
Yes, absolutely. Come on, Eileen. Annie,
I'm watching this movie.
Hathaway.
I'm watching this movie because David turned it on, and I hate when David does this. He puts on a movie, and I go, "What is this movie?" He goes, "It's a film," and I go, what is it called? He's like, "You'll see." He won't ever tell me what's on, so because he wants me to, he wants to try to suck me into watching good movies.
You should say it's a soap opera then,
because it's not Uncle Buck. I'm not interested.
Hello.
So I'm like stuck there watching it, and as soon as it got cooking, I went, "You know who's gonna love this?"
Insufferable.
As soon as it started to get crazy, I was like, "You know who's gonna love this?" Katya. And then I text you, you gotta watch Eileen.
See, I love Otessa I don't know how to say her name. I read the book of My Year of Rest and Relaxation, which is deliciousdiva.com. Because I believe that she did also this fabulous book called Lapvona. I don't know how to say Lavona, Lapvona. Fabulous, incredible, disgusting medieval tale. And she's so good at drawing in characters that are so unlikable, but are so compelling. But I hadn't read this one. I bought the book and hadn't read it. And when Annie Hathaway barged into that frame, I said, okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
I don't care about spoilers. This isn't I like to watch. I don't care if I ruin the whole movie for these people listening. Skip ahead, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Do you know about that?
No.
When Denise Richards was on Real Housewives, she was saying she wanted the filming to stop, and she was saying bravo, 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 because if you mention production, they cut it out.
It's like Nike.
Yeah. Well, Kathy Griffin says if you're ever saying something you don't want them to use, you start singing the Beatles. You sing a song they can't clear financially.
Come on, Eileen, won't you say that?
So Anne Hathaway comes in, and of course, can I just say, I'm not like a big brain movie person. So oftentimes, like these sort of
You're saying you got lowbrow taste?
Yes.
Okay.
These sort of cloying, I don't know if that's the right word, like Oscar bait movies tend to grate me.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
They tend to make me look around. It was like the Saltburn experience where after I would look around and went, is this what all you have been tweeting about?
I know.
Have y'all seen Uncle Buck? Like, so.
Where's the entertainment?
Yeah. John Candy.
How are we going to make this funny?
Thank you. So the movie kicks off and it's kind of slow. Massachusetts accents are crazy, as you know.
It's kind of slow.
My ear was not
slow, Mary. She shoved snow in her.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
My ears can't understand that Mass accent. It's just wild.
Well, I wasn't in Massachusetts in jail in the 50s, but
it gives me P-Town Towny level accent where I'm like, whoa.
T.
Like, your brar.
Wait, Judge is your father Judge is in the bathroom with a horse? That's it's bizarre.
So Anne Hathaway comes in, and of course you're like, okay, there's this woman. She's kind of, she's sex starved, but obviously has no social life, has no sex life, has no romantic life. And then Anne Hathaway comes in, who's like effortless, blonde
world weary,
smoking indoors. Like, well, honey, it's very like stick with me, kid. Yeah. And at first you're like, is something lesbian gonna happen? And then something that lesbian does gonna happen, honey. And I'm watching. I'm almost what do you call it? ODing.
Hard.
Oh. So I'm on the couch. I'm flatlining. Yep. I'm sort of like, this movie just went over my head.
Okay.
I'm Miss Lowbrow. I'm here with my warm Laffy Taffy in my left hand and my iPhone in my right hand being like, wake me up when the credits roll. You know, it's just too weird.
Yeah.
Too weird for me. But again, I like trash.
Yes. No, you know. Uncle Buck is not trash though.
And then when Miss Anne Hathaway goes, can I confide in you? I go, okay, something's going off. Something's going off. And she goes, can I confide in you? And she admits to having the kid's mother tied up in the basement. I go, holy shit. Yeah. And newsflash, she works with troubled kids and she's trying to get the mom to confess to not only knowing about her husband f***ing her son, but facilitating it.
Yeah.
And the woman is like, when I realized I was getting infections in my pussy, and then I realized it's because he was doing our son up the butt and then f***ing my pussy with the shit on the dick. Mary, it was. I
hope you all lost your lunch. I hope you're not eating out there.
It was sort of like perked up isn't the word. I sort of was like,
up.
What's this? What's this?
Oh.
There's white things in the air. I was suddenly like, oh, this movie's going off.
Snow.
Yes. I crossed both legs.
Into the woods.
I crossed this, then I crossed this leg.
You're like,
yeah.
Let me confide in you, Miss Hathaway.
Yes, I put on my little crocheted socks on my beret and I leaned in. I said, what is going on?
Glasses on top of your glasses.
The monologue the mom gives during that, I was like, this is acting.
That was acting.
This is misacting.
Yeah, that was inside the actor's
And Hathaway's doing misacting. I feel bad not knowing the actress who plays Eileen. Okay. She was doing misacting.
She was misacting.
I didn't love the way it ended. I hate weird French novel, just abrupt endings. And the next morning, though, I was going for my walk and I was like, I liked that movie.
Yeah, I did too.
I liked it.
I liked it a lot. It was I was the shock of that monologue and
shock.
Because so this is a novel, right? I mean, that is clear from the descriptions because you have to play them. Oh, this sounds so fucking juvenile. So juvenile. Like it was a tell not show moment.
Yeah.
And obviously novels are tell not show, but then you create the movie in your head. I'm like, now I'm going to read this book because I'm going to be more haunted and more disgusted and more terrified by all the things that I'm going to have to imagine from the words.
Yes.
You know?
I mean, and the parts that are shocking, such as that monologue, it wasn't played for shock. It was played for
gravitas.
Real.
Yeah.
It was played for, if it's the early 60s. Yeah. First of all, divorce for women barely could work at that point.
Also, Eileen's dad was stuck in the sister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she got out.
And it's a little like the Gypsy Rose thing where I've been in abusive situations. I understand how you get horse blinders to reality. Yeah. We watch the movie and you go, Eileen could leave at any time. But that's not how it feels when you're in abusive, dependent situations.
That's not how it works either.
And so obviously in this film, it gets extreme. The way she deals with it, it's extreme.
Yeah.
But at the end, I was like, okay, bitch.
I see you, Eileen.
Yeah.
Eileen Dover.
I was like, the credits came down and I was like Dawson's Creek, like, do-do-do-do-do-do. I was like.
You were Katie Holmes marrying Tom Cruise.
No, but when it ended too abruptly for me and there wasn't a bow on it. And I was waiting for a moment where she looked back at the camera like the end of Monster and was like, what do you think? Or something. Like I was waiting for something.
Annie Hathaway takes off her blonde wig and is like, that's right, I'm Catwoman.
I knew you were going to love Miss Annie Hathaway. It's maybe my favorite Anne Hathaway role, to be honest.
Okay. Fierce.
Well, I loved it.
Annie Banani is
she's Miss Actress.
She's Miss Actrina.
47 million followers on Instagram.
Okay. I'm going to have the film she's about to drop on this world with Jessica Chastain. Do you think gay people are going to survive that?
What movie?
Methinks not.
Argyle?
No.
Oh.
The one about the son. It's what's it called? Mother's Instinct. Honey, you watch.
Tracy looked it up right away knowing you would know the name.
You watch this trailer and you will say, my gay personhood is about to be evaporated and vaporized by the that's about to take place on screen.
Uh-huh.
Every gay person's going to be like, and die.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
There'll be no more gay people.